This is Laura Ellis of TransitionsLiaison.com. How do you want to quit smoking? Have the methods worked for you, previously used? I want you to know that with hypnosis, you will quit your smoking habit for good. Not in one session, as some of these come to town and let's call you in for $30 for 1 million people at once and you will quit smoking. That is not effective. And actually these CDs and so forth that are being put out there, quit smoking with this hypnotic CD, is helpful, but for hypnosis and hypnotherapy to be effective and lasting, it has to be personal, one-on-one, to your unique reasons as to why you started smoking, why it became a habit, why it's difficult for you to stop smoking in the first place. So I say to you and ask you, what do Matt Damon, Drew Barrymore, Ben Affleck, Charlize Theron, Ellen DeGeneres, and more all have in common? They quit smoking using hypnosis. And celebrities have discovered the effective results of hypnosis and have used it to conquer not only smoking habits, but weight loss and other challenges. So the question is whether this is a Hollywood fad or a real solution. Research shows that quitting smoking is one of the most studied topics over the past 50 years. And the 3 popular methods that have made the billion-dollar industry in this country of pharmaceuticals are nicotine patches. So that's number 1 popular method. But is it the most effective? Well, researchers at the University of Iowa combined more than 600 studies of smoking cessation programs involving 72,000 people from North America and Europe. And the result? Hypnosis was found to be over 3 times more effective than nicotine replacement therapy and 15 times more effective than people who attempt to quit cold turkey, because inevitably the underlying cause is still there in the subconscious, and you do, most of the time, 80% of the time, those people go back to smoking at some point in time. If you remove the cause, which originated in the subconscious, which rules our lives, then you eliminate the effect. Otherwise, you're just putting a Band-Aid, if you will, if you can picture that on different parts of your brain, to temporary solutions. So the long-term solution is, many of us, not myself, I've never had any addictions, thankfully, but many of us have quit smoking only to start again, especially under stress. Life throws you a curveball. So just as important as quitting, what may be even more important is to stay that way. It is more important to stay that way. So, yes, hypnosis and hypnotherapy is the most effective way to quit. Then you question, is it a short-term effect? Well, a comparison study of smoking cessation treatments conducted by North Shore Medical Center and Massachusetts General, 26 weeks after discharge, 50% of the patients who received hypnosis exclusively, one-on-one, were non-smokers, compared to the 25% of patients who didn't, and only 16% of those patients who use nicotine replacement therapy alone, which has its side effects also, by the way. So then the question is, why does hypnosis seem to be the best way? Well, smoking addiction, if a combination of 2 types of addiction. There's the physical addiction, then there's the mental or the psychological addiction. I refer to and know it's subconscious. So, although nicotine addiction is considered one of the most strongest addictions out there, even more addictive than cocaine, the good news is that the physical side of things doesn't last very long. In fact, some believe that you will lose the physical cravings for nicotine with hypnosis, begin to lose them in as little as 3 days. Think about that. A lifetime of trying to break this deadly addiction. The real struggle for smokers is overcoming the mental addiction. It's more that than the physical conditioning, contrary to popular belief. So the smoker has essentially trained their subconscious mind, as I said earlier, to make smoking an automatic behavior. And these are habits and rituals that a smoker has developed over the years, such as smoking when they wake up, just before they go to sleep, perhaps when they have a cocktail, after they eat, when they drive, when they drink coffee, and so on and so on. So how hypnosis and hypnotherapy, which are the same principles, absolutely, by the way, just different terms, how do they help you quit? What will it do? Well, rather than just treating the physical urges that are part of your smoking habit, as with a nicotine patch, which again is why the long-term results are not lasting, because you're not going to the cause, which is mental, okay? Hypnotherapy targets the subconscious drive behind the addiction and breaks the positive associations with cigarettes. The positive association with cigarettes that the mind has formed. So, this is replaced by an empowering perspective that I or another hypnotic facilitator, hypnotist, hypnotherapist offers through verbal suggestions personally constructed for you that deem smoking as something undesirable or unnecessary to do. And then gradually, session by session, becoming more powerful than the first and the prior, these suggestions take hold and diminish the smoker's impulse to smoke. Furthermore, hypnosis is considered to be a far more safe and certainly a natural method to quitting smoking with, and is a non-habit forming. This cannot be said, hear me out there, this cannot be said about most of the stop smoking aids that are currently on the market. Yes, coming to myself as a hypnotist or a hypnotherapist can be an investment. And yes, the way I do things is I package my sessions in 6 weekly 1-hour sessions for the entire treatment. That solidifies the subconscious in response to what your conscious mind is trying to continue with the habit of on automatic pilot, I would say. So after 6 sessions, I would say in my experience with my clients, 95% of the time, that's all that's required. And the results are permanent. So I know that if you're a celebrity like the ones I mentioned earlier, this isn't a problem as far as money is concerned. But if you think about it, what can the average smoker afford to do? What can the average smoker afford to do without going to hypnosis, without going to a hypnotherapist? Think about the money that is spent, not only for the cigarette use that you spend and buy, from what I understand, they're astronomical, but from a health standpoint as well, most importantly, and shortening your lifespan. So it is an investment in yourself. However, the pack-a-day smoker, think about this, you will spend in excess of $2,000 a year on cigarettes. And that's not even including the increased cost of life and health insurance that goes along with a smoker's habits, and doesn't include the drastic cut in your ability to earn more. So I'd like to propose this to you. Go to my website, www.transitionsliaison.com, And there you will have a little more information as to my procedures, my techniques, and also testimonies from my clients that have undergone sessions with me, not just for smoking cessation, but for many things. Transitions Liaison, I founded in 2012, so we've been around for a while, and I am totally, totally committed to helping you, to seeing it through. And once on board with me, you will have 24/7 access to me via email, which I feel is so important. It's just more support while you go through the process. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen, to learn, and to hopefully increase your lifespan, health, and well-being. So long for now.